A very good afternoon, and once again welcome to Blackpool Pleasure Beach for a Grand National and Park update. Good news from the Grand National today, it is testing during park hours, so I'm able to get some shots of it whilst I'm here in the park. We're testing both the blue train and purple train, both at the same time, and you've seen some shots before, and you'll continue to see some shots of the ride in action, testing both of the trains. We're still expecting an end of June opening, still nothing official from the park as of yet. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed till July or later, but yeah, still expected end of June for the Grand National, with testing in full flow. I believe it's been testing all day today and probably will continue every single day until the ride either soft opens or officially opens here at the park. So yeah, I'm going to throw in some more shots here of the Grand National in motion, and I do believe there is actually some trains coming in just a second. Yep. There you go, you can hear these sirens, so we should start seeing blue and purple right about now. Look at that, both in at the same time. Blue on the far side and purple here. Both trains now with the seats in, and the occasional row has a few sandbags in as well. So yeah, good to see over the last week the teams have finished putting the seats in, getting it all ready for testing, and getting some weights in there as well at testing to simulate the passengers going around the ride. It's also good to hear those noises again from the Grand National, because when we've had Launchpad shut and the Grand National shut, this north end of the park is still a lot empty, a lot desolate and quiet, so it's good to hear those noises again here from the Grand National. Still no sign of either red train or the green train at the minute, just blue and purple. Whether they'll come back this year, I'm not too sure, because we did talk about last time as well that maybe same as big one, they might be doing like train rotations every year now, so maybe like next year they might bring green and red out and put these two in a yearly maintenance period, we're unsure. But yeah, as I say, good to see the Grand National testing here today on the June 20th, Friday the June 20th is the time now I'm filming. So there we go, literally as soon as it's just stopped, the Grand National is off again, testing both trains at the same time. Here we have purple off on its merry way. And you saw some of the sandbags inside the train then as well, simulate the weight for people. So yeah, over the past few weeks we've been showing how they've been doing lots of painting work, gardening work, a little bit of track replacement somewhere in the station as well, and of course the train's coming back with the seats now installed and the sandbags now installed. With testing finally underway during park operational hours, which is good to see. So yeah, we have Launchpad over there, formerly Ice Blast and PlayStation. Good to see, of course, that ride reopening earlier this year in May, with those sights and sounds back in action again, making the areas a lot more livelier. And of course we've got the Grand National just on this side, starting its testing ahead of its opening some point at the back end of this month in June, if not early July at least anyway. So yeah, it's good to see this north end of the park slowly all coming back to life finally, after a full year of obviously Ice Blast being closed and Grand National closing early last year and remaining closed for the start of this season as well. And whilst we're showing it as well, in the background there we do have Valhalla, and since the refurbishment back in, I'd like to say past 3 or 4 years, it was closed, because I think it closed at the end of 2019, and then it was closed of course during COVID, 2020, 2021 it was closed, in 2022 it was closed, and I believe it was back open in 2023. Yeah, you can see Grand National coming back in now again, looks like blue won that one, and purple there just slowly coming in behind it. So yeah, back to Valhalla, I have actually finally been on board since the refurbishment, so it was good to see what did actually change from the old version that I used to be. Good to see that the backwards drop is no longer there, it's now a turntable to send the boat forwards. They replaced some effects like the old cold room, the freezer room. That's now, I don't really know what it's meant to be, it's just sort of random statues. Looks like they're meant to be like throwing arrows and daggers at you. I don't really understand the story between that really, because they don't look anything like a Viking warrior or anything like that. So yeah, I do miss the old cold room in there. We've still got the 4 blasts of fire towards the end of the ride that the on the final drop, it's like a double down drop, and there's 4 blasts of fire there. I do believe normally the ring of fire and the water, the fire through the water is normally there, but it's one of the most unreliable effects going on that ride, and it wasn't on today. But yeah, various other parts of the ride as well, practically the same, just with sort of like different audio, different visuals, and either the effects turned off and new lighting around it, or just removed completely. But yeah, it's good to get on there, especially today in this heat. You can see the blue skies all above. It's roughly about 29-30 degrees here in Blackpool today, so it is a hot one. And it's very good to get on a water ride like Valhalla, because you're literally drying off instantly. It's like being over in Orlando, getting on like Popeye or Ripsaw Falls, rides like that, in that scorching Orlando heat, and then drying off instantly. That's what it feels like today. Literally come off Valhalla and you're drying within like 10-20 minutes. It's such a good feeling today. And it has got one big queue over there as well. I'm not surprised. That's because though the ride is only open today from 2 PM till 5 PM, so yeah, it's still opening late. Even on these very hot days. It would have been good maybe today if it opened at say maybe 12:30, 1 o'clock, just an extra hour earlier, because it does have a big queue. And one notable change is the main station. It looks like it's got a new operations panel and procedures in there compared to the old version. It's still a continuous station, so the boats don't stop anywhere in the station, but you're unsure as to how many boats it actually runs now, because the old version used to have a sign like some river caves and steeplechase, how many vehicles and boats are in service. That sign is no longer in there anymore, so I'm not too sure if it's running like 8 boats, 10 boats. I'm not entirely sure. But as I say, it was good to get back on Valhalla today after having years not riding. I think last time I did riding it was 2018, so yeah, nearly 10 years of me not actually going on Valhalla. So yeah, good to get back on there in this scorcher of a day. But yeah, we'll go back towards Grand National to see what's happening over there. But I can just see off the corner of my eye a lot of the staff leaving, so I'm not too sure if they have finished testing for the day, or just going to have a quick break and then get back to it. We'll head over back to Grand National just about now. So one notable change from the Grand National from when it's been closed, getting its TLC work from the past few months, is how bad the running rails here on the track were looking. But of course, over at least today and maybe the past few days when it's been testing constantly, you can see those running rails now have gone from being orange to being nice and oily once again, which is obviously a good sign. Get the ride back up to full speed when guests eventually come onto it. The trains aren't here at the minute. I think it's just had a breakdown, or the staff are practicing like an evacuation from the lift hills, because I can just see the trains at the bottom of the lift hills from where I'm stood at the minute. But yeah, 3 of the staff members have gone over there to either get it going again or sort of practice how to do evacuations, because it's been that long since this ride's been operational. They have to get used to everything that the ride may throw at them. So yeah, the trains aren't in the station at the minute. They're just stuck on the lift hills currently. So yeah, as I said, the trains are on the lift hill currently, either practicing the block zones, or the staff, which you can just see there on the left, practicing like an evacuation procedure, with the staff trying to get back into the swing of things with it being closed for such a long time. So yeah, the staff coming onto the track there for the blue train are probably going to be like practicing how to sort of get the restraints up on the lift hill, stuff like that, and try to symbolise people stuck in the trains for evacuation. It's all part of the normal testing procedure for the Grand National, to sort of practice the block zones, evacuation procedures, stuff like that. But yeah, it's good to see though, as I keep saying, the ride is now testing in full flow here on the ride. And yeah, you can see the staff there going down the actual lift hill, maybe to hit like a reset button if it's down there somewhere, or just to check other little bits and bobs, not too sure. But yeah, blue and purple at the bottom of the lift hill for now anyway. So what the staff are actually doing is they came down this left sort of walkway by Blue Train, under a walkway where underneath where I'm currently stood, up on the right side where the purple train is, and they're actually training one of the guys on how to do an evacuation on board the train. So yeah, it's all just practice procedure, getting the crews retrained and ready again for when the ride does reopen. Because 2 of the staff I do recognise from last year, so they're probably used to the swing of things, and there's 1 staff member who I've never seen worked on here before. I think they're used to, say, the likes of Big Dipper and Infusion. So you can see again how they're sort of chatting down here, and they're sort of practising and having a look at how to sort of do like an emergency evacuation. And then they probably walk up to the top where the front of the train is, and then onto this walkway here on the left hand side. So yeah, the guy in the middle is training the guy on the left with the hat on, and how to do evacuation procedures. So yeah, all positive and good things to see here from the Grand National ride crew. and of course getting them trained up in case the trains do ever stop here in the future. I mean, they could stop here at the bottom, or they could stop way up there top of the lift, or it stopped on here before, and obviously when there was any errors on the trains or any errors on the ride itself, the computer will shut the ride down anyway. So yeah, just practicing how to evacuate the train safely for when guests are on board in the next coming months, and in case it does stop itself anyway. And just like that, all the testing and retraining has completed, and both of the trains are going off uplift, as you can clearly see. So yeah, the crews are behind me, just locking up, make sure everything's secure before heading back to the station to probably get the trains testing again. So yeah, both trains, you can see there, just about to cross the lift hills and begin its journey around. Well, here is your latest look here from the Evictus site, the old Bowl-a-Drome Rock building. And well, since the last update I did here from the site, we still had the majority of the arcade wall all still intact. Here we had like the white outer wall all intact, the wooden building all still intact here, and literally over the past 5 days they've clearly easily knocked it straight down. So this sort of shows we're going to be keeping that building there, the staircase up, because that used to be upstairs seating for the FY4 dining area. I'm not too sure if it's still used for that anymore, if it's more like sort of like VIP events, stuff like that up there, I'm not entirely sure. But everything else, the old wooden building here has all gone. And then as I pan round to the left hand side, you can see more concrete and rebar sticking out there. And then further down as well, the building where the white Bowl-a-Drome once stood has all gone. I may go into the tunnel once the park is closed later on to see what changes are from inside the tunnel view, but this is your look here from inside the park at what was the arcade and Planet Rock building. It has all nearly gone. The site is clearing week by week, and then eventually we'll get groundwork underway for foundation work, and then later in the year when the ride gets on site, erection of the Intamin gyro swing. So yeah, all the building here from the park has near enough gone. It's just the occasional bits of steel rebar and little bits of concrete still sticking up. But yeah, as I say, we're heading to the tunnel later on to see what views we can see from inside there. So we're going to end the inside the park look around here from the former Grand Prix Helix area. Of course, over the winter season they knocked the whole Helix area down, and we all started speculating what's going to go in the site. I eventually said maybe just a garden area, expand the sensory garden over there, because I wouldn't imagine with the amount of projects the park have, not going to focus their attention on this area at the minute, and especially when the rest of the Grand Prix layout is all still intact, like the station building and all the tracks that go down to the big one and back. And of course I was near enough correct. Instead of putting AstroTurf down, they've actually put proper grass down. They started putting grass seeds down, proper soil down the other month, and you can see all that section there has now fully grown. It's nice and green, it's looking quite nice down there. And then we started to see roped off areas leading towards the fountain, as to maybe what were they going to be doing, like pipe work or anything, but no. We then thought, oh, maybe new pathways, and looks like that's what they're going to do. So you can see this was a roped off area. Down here we have one leading up to the top right of the sensory garden, and there's one that you can't really see here. It's where that digger is, the path that goes up there towards the monorail as well. But yeah, these are now going to be new pathways leading up and around the fountain. They're currently just trying to get some more grass growing as well. You can see the sprinkler is on. So yeah, it's trying to wet all the soil down here at the minute, because once again it's been a very hot and dry week here in Blackpool with very little rain. So yeah, they're obviously getting it wet to try and get some of the grass growing, so it looks like that lot over there. They've also topped the fountain up looking nice and blue again, because the other day it was looking a bit of a dirty green colour. So yeah, let's keep topping up that colouring they put in there, the watercolouring, whatever they do put in there. So yeah, the pathways are starting to come in at the minute, with the one coming down here by Icon's Fast Pass entrance, around to the right and up to the sensory garden. So once this whole area is probably all done, all green grass and everything's completed, I'd imagine the barriers over there at the sensory garden will be removed, and you can just wander this area, sit down, relax, enjoy the park food. I would say picnics, but the park don't allow picnics. So, but yeah, you can just sit down here and relax until in the future years when the park do decide what ride to put here. This is going to be your look here for the Grand Prix for the time being. It's better than the ride being here and looking derelict. I'd rather it have been removed like it has done and just make it a bit more of a presentable area, because green spaces are needed in a park like this as well. Plus the other predicament as well, they might be doing this because when they applied for, I think it was the holiday apartments on the promenades, the council said they had to plant so many trees within inside the park, and we know there's going to be a row of trees behind Evictus going in, and we don't know there's going to be plenty of trees that'll be growing in this area as well, so you can get that holiday apartment definitely approved. So there's definitely going to be a lot of trees coming here in the future to the Pleasure Beach. Hopefully that doesn't restrict what rides they could put here in the future, but yeah, we do know there's going to be a lot of trees being planted here in the park in the future. So yeah, as I say though, good to see pathways now fully going in here in the former Grand Prix area around the fountain, and the sprinkler system being on to get the grass growing a lot quicker. So yeah, the next few shots now will be when I'm outside the park having a look from the tunnel into the Evictus site, because the ones I just showed it were inside the park showing how the building has gone, but we need to see what it's going to be like from ground level from the tunnel entrance as well. So yeah, we'll show you that just a little bit, but for you guys it'll be literally instantly now. So here's just a quick ground view look then at the new pathways going in the former Helix area up to the fountain, and some more grass growing in this area as well, and you can see how dense it gets over that way as well, because that was the first sections to grow. As I showed from just above me up there, they have the sprinkler system in there, probably to try and get more of the grass like here growing in that section, and I would imagine maybe later on this evening the sprinkler system will go over to the far end and start wetting that area, getting more grass eventually growing in this area. And to be fair, as much as it's not a ride going in, I can't actually wait to get in this area, to be fair. Just have a little sit down, wander around. Be nice to watch sort of Avalanche go around, Revolution, Icon going around as well. It'd be nice to just chill out and relax down here with like food and ice cream, drinks. So yeah, it actually is quite a good move the park have done. As I say, it's better than having an old car ride looking sorry for itself and not being open. It's best to get it removed, put something here in its place temporary, like this nice little garden area that they're doing, and then in the future, if it comes to the needing a new space for a new ride, they've got space here ready and waiting to put one in. And whether that means removing Avalanche in the future as well to make it a more exciting and bigger coaster, so be it. But at the time being, this is what we're going to be getting, this nice green grassy area. But as I say though, the next shots you will definitely be seeing is going to be from in the tunnel just over there, but looking in at Evictus to see how the demolition is looking, because from inside the park it was looking absolutely incredible. And so, like I said, we have now transitioned into the tunnel, actually ending the update here for a change, unlike starting it like we normally do. So we saw from inside the park how the far right wall, which is the one that runs parallel with the River Caves ramp, has now officially gone. It's been completely knocked down, as you saw. And effectively that section in the middle of your screen where that orange themed wall is, that's a section that's still sticking out when we're inside of the park, where that old concrete wall used to be, like the wooden walls and the white facade. That's that section that's they've now knocked down. The other side behind the digger, they have all this side still intact, so I'd imagine presumably next week from Monday onwards they'll knock down this side as well. But they do need to clear up some of this debris all over this place, like the old roofing stuff here, flooring, give it a good old clean as well. Like, there's tons of glass everywhere, old safety stuff. I mean, they do have a skip there, as you can see through the railings, that's carrying, it looks like wood in there as well. So they are slowly starting to clean up the site just a little bit. So yeah, it was interesting seeing from inside the park how much they have knocked down, especially on that side where River Caves is. And when on board like the likes of Infusion or Big One, you get a good aerial view down into the site. You can see how much they have knocked down and cleared up currently. I'll just moving over to the left hand side to get a better look. So there's the River Caves wall there on the right hand side, the green railings, the black construction mud that you'd see from inside the park. You can clearly see now all that section of building is completely gone, and you can see some old brown doorways built underneath that ramp. They're normally some of the exits of the Halloween mazes that they do, because normally do a maze that runs in the tunnels around the river caves. There's some of the exit doors for that. As I said, just lots of debris everywhere. The diggers there, the foundations for the old Planet Rock building are there. We still have the very top of the Planet Rock building all still intact just there as well. And that skip there for them clearing up some of the debris currently as well. So, and you can clearly see just behind the digger, that outer wall there for the Bowl-a-Drome is all still intact currently, but would imagine, like I just said before, come Monday onwards, they'll probably knock down that section as well, and maybe either keep that lamppost or knock that down as well, unsure. So yeah, not an awful lot to show, unlike previous weeks, but it was good to see from inside the park the amount of devastation and destruction they have done in the past week. So yeah, not going to really show a lot more, because it's just normally the same stuff week in, week out. But hopefully this time next week we can report that this section has hopefully gone and more building demolition has taken place. So we're going to end the update here then, having a look into Infusion. You can see the lake is still not up at the minute. It's been pretty much down all year, and has been the past few years as well, whilst there's been some scaffolding behind the Infusion station on the Big One supports, meaning that the water can't come up to the full sort of lagoon look that it used to have, and what it should have effectively, with the park claiming it to be the only SLC over water, which is a bit of a weird record to hold. But yeah, end the update here now. Hope you've enjoyed it. We showed you a lot today. As always, good to see the national testing during park operational hours. Showed you more changes with the old Grand Prix Helix area, how the garden area is swiftly moving along, and ending it in the tunnel, showing the latest demolition works over with the Bowl-a-Drome Planet Rock for the new Evictus ride next year. So if you enjoyed all the Pleasure Beach updates, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so you don't miss out when I put another one up. They come pretty much weekly at the minute, as there's lots of changes happening in the park week in, week out. I'm back again hopefully next week with another one.